What's going on? Welcome to HDTV. You're now rocking with your boy. We had a good stream yesterday. Good stream. Q Lee, he jinxed the Miami Heat. And they lost. But it is what it is. That's why you got to close the games out when you can. Now, JJRedick comes on, I believe it was Get Up or ESPN First Take. And he basically talked about what Casino for Life has talked about, what I've talked about, other content creators have talked about, is that they don't promote the game. And they don't. Like, Detroit T said it last night. The NFL, they don't mind letting a team who comes out of nowhere get publicity. They don't mind promoting those teams. They don't. Y'all remember the Arizona Cardinals, right? That one year that they just went off. They got to the playoffs. Larry Fitzgerald was playing like Moss Jr. Y'all remember that? They were talking about Arizona like crazy. Then, but in the NBA, the Sacramentokings, they were balling out, and the networks just manured on all of them. Just totally was disrespectful. Nikolajokic and the Nuggets were #1 all season damn near, or most of the season. I'm not going to say all season, but most of the season. They were the #1 seed, but did we talk about them? No, we didn't. We didn't talk about them. Because the NBA kept talking about LeBrownies. They were talking about LeBrownies. Now, JJRedick, since he said it, now people, I guess, feel like, oh, it's true. Like, duh. When LeBrownies lost, what they were doing? The Ticket TVs and the Two Raws, all of these guys, well, I ain't gonna say Two Raw. Two Raw, shout out to him. He went off on LeBrownies. Yeah, Anthony Davis didn't do what he did, but it was LeBrownies' fault. When you dominate the ball 90-some% of the time, you mess up the flow of the offense for the other players. That's why when he gets around superstar talent or fellow role players, their game suffers a lot because he's dominating the ball. And I don't want to hear from people talking about, oh, y'all just talking about, we don't always talk about him. But this is the truth. JJRedick is basically taking points from a lot of the YouTube content creators, including Casino for Life and myself. That he's taking all of these points. And he's basically trying to make it like he just came up with the point. It's like, dude, we've been saying this shit for like about 8 years. We've been saying this. No, I say 10 years. No, I say about 10 years we've been saying this. Or 8 years. For real. It's the biggest, it's like the biggest It's the biggest, how do I say it? This is the most stupefied, I'm gonna say stupefied, because it is. This is the most stupefied era of people I've ever been around. The Miami Heat, they just now started promoting them. Albeit they were, in the playoffs. They weren't really doing that well during the season, but they had a good team. Their problem was injury. Now, when the Sacramento Kings came out of nowhere, they were not promoting them. I told people before the season, I told people last year, when Mike Brown got selected to be the coach, I told everybody, the Kings going to make the playoffs. I just didn't know they were going to be that high of a seed, but I knew they would make the playoffs. Some other people would tell you, man, no, you didn't. No, you didn't. No, I knew. I knew they're going to make the playoffs. And then now you have them, of course, trying to make it like, they're a small market team. So what? Promote them. That means that's more merchandising. That's more people tuning in because they're actually fun to watch. When you put a buzzard out there, an old buzzard out there, with a toilet tissue soft player as well, you're gonna get bad results. People saw what was going on. People been seeing this for the past 6-7 years with this guy. But JJRedick, where was this during the season, man? Why all of a sudden you're talking about it now? Because your research team went on YouTube, found people like myself and Sino and others out there, my other fellow YouTubers out there. You basically took all our talking points. You said exactly what we talked about last night. It's crazy because everything that you said is exactly what we said last night, or for 5 or 6 years we've been saying this. The NFL is winning because they push everybody. They don't care if you the Detroit Lions or if you're the what do you call it? They don't care if you're the Arizona Cardinals and the Carolina Panthers. They don't care. They just want to sell the game. The game comes first. The team comes second. And then the players come third. That is why they've been able to strive. In the NBA, they have a player then the sport, then the teams. Barely. They get all these marketing dollars, right? All these marketing dollars. And they put it all on the one player. Whereas the NFL puts their money on the game, on how to make the game better or keep the game watchable. That's what they do. Now, they tweak some things. By taking away a lot of the defensive rules to cater to offense, but at the end of the day, the product is still better than what you're watching in the NBA. You could watch an NFL game. Now, there's some NFL games where it'll be like, oh man, this is a crawl, but that's some. the majority of the NFL games are really on point. Some of it has been really on point, which is great to see. Outside of the Super Bowl last year, damn near every other game was competitive and fun to watch. And it was. But see, JjRedick is also missing a point. Nikolajokic your network is also guilty of not promoting Nikolajokic or showing his games. That's your network. Your network is a LeBrownie run network. That's all y'all talk about is how good he is or how bad he is. When he's bad, y'all give him the excuse of that he's 38 years old, but when he balls out, y'all said this has never been done by a 38-year-old. Of course it ain't been done because people don't play that damn long. The sport wasn't created to be played that long. The most that you are supposed to play is probably 15 years of a high-level ball player. Well, I say about 10 or 11 years, maybe 12 at most, that you're playing at a high level. Then when you get to your 15th or 16th season, you're starting to scale back a little bit because you don't have the same athleticism. So you're working off of skill and muscle memory. This is why Kevin Durant continues to play. This is why others like Jimmy Butler continues to play, Steph Curry, because they have what we call skill. They don't need to be carried by the refs or carried by the league to get their buckets or to make their team better. Nikolajokic the same way. I think he could probably play until he's 40 or 45. He really can, because his game's not predicated on athleticism. It's predicated on skill, fundamentals. And see, when your network doesn't promote that and they just keep promoting a guy who only can score at a high level in transition, that messes your game up, man. And then you need to blame the NBA. But see, you can't blame the NBA because you already know what they'll say to you. They'll give you that call. So that's what I'm saying. The game's not promoted because you guys as a network and the people, the people that's out there doing the reporting of the news won't take a stand because they're afraid that, oh, the player isn't going to give them no more access. Who cares? Who cares? It's like, who cares, man? When you look at the situation, JJ, the onus falls on you guys, the news, the reporters, the journalists. That's who it falls on. Y'all spent all the other yesterday just destroying Anthony Davis, but giving LeBrownies a pass. Y'all didn't talk about Nikolajokic. Y'all talked about him for a little bit. Y'all didn't talk about Jamal Murray. Y'all didn't talk about Aaron Gordon. Y'all didn't call out LeBrownies, and that's why nobody really cares, because you're only talking about, you're protecting one person but disrespecting other players, giving him a pass from people who don't know anything about the damn sport or who even actually took the time to watch the game. It's sad. Sad as hell. But you want to basically try to sound like you're an innovator. You're not an innovator, JJ. You ain't nothing but that guy they put there to be the little fire starter, the firecracker. They promoting you. They're trying to push you out there to be this and that. Dog, your points, you make some good points sometimes. But other times you shoot yourself in the foot because you disrespect the old players. You know, like Chance was doing. You and Chance and all these other guys are disrespecting the old players, calling them milkmen and all of this. Dude, they had to work part-time jobs because they weren't making no money. The game was actually more competitive during that time than it is now. So that's why I say, like, y'all be disrespectful to the older era. It's not their fault they had to play against them teams. It's like, bruh, what do you want them to do? If they played in this era, they would destroy this era. Because all you're telling them is, oh, you can play basketball full time. You ain't even got to go play part time. They like, what? Bet. They gonna bust all these dudes' asses. Bill Russell would shut down Joker and all of these guys. Wilt Chamberlain would get like a quintuple double every damn night. Oscar Robertson would probably get a quadruple or quintuple double every night. Jerry West is going to give you a bunch of, he going to be killing you from that three-point line. Are you kidding me? If Jerry West went against a Ray Allen, he would torch Ray Allen. So what are you talking about? See, these are the things that JJRedick tries to blind you guys. He tries to make it seem like that everybody in old school can't play. Dog, you couldn't even touch Bob Cousy. Bob Cousy would have ate you alive. So I'm not taking what he says and run with it, because we've already said this. And if you fall for this okie doke that they're pulling, then you stupid, sir. You stupid as a fan, and you're stupid as a person and a man or a woman. You are dumb if you keep falling for this cockamamie bullshit that they putting out here. He didn't say nothing special. He didn't say nothing that me and Sino ain't already said or other content creators have said. We know why the game sucks, because you're promoting a bald-headed buzzard. He's an old buzzard. Old buzzard. All he do is stat pad. He's a big-time stat padder, just like KB said. Shout out to Kwame Brown Bus Life. Just like he said, he's a stat padder. And you know, people trying to say, oh, well, I don't take what KB says seriously. I mean, you should, because he told the truth. The reason why we talk about him and to say that he's a bad player is because he is. But see, when everybody else talk about how great he is, y'all be hiding in the shadows like, man, he's great, though. But then when we talk about him and actually spit facts about him, everybody start crying like a little bitch. Y'all start crying like a little bitch because y'all like him on the low, and that's cool. I don't care if you a fan of his on the low. And for those people trying to talk about Kobe last game with the Mavericks, Kobe went out shooting and swinging. He didn't go out like LeBrownies and give you 4 points in the fourth quarter. So dead that crap right then and there. So thank you for listening. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share this. Hit the notification bell to select all to receive upcoming notifications. If y'all love what y'all hear, y'all can donate to the page by going to the description box, hitting that link to my Cash App to donate whatever your heart's desire. You guys can also find me on Zelle. You can look for it under my name. And you guys can also super chat when we go live or premiere video, like this is a premiere. And then you guys can also re-watch it and leave a super thanks. So thank you guys, man, for your love and blessings. We out. Deezy.